Hi everybody, thanks for checking out this video here on G4G. Today we are in a game called Duelyst. Duelyst is a card game, collectible card game that is free to play, and I will go ahead and be putting up a link in the description for how to get this particular game. If you are familiar with Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone, both of those, then it should be extremely easy for you to get into this game. So the first thing we'll do is take a look at some items here off of the home screen, and then we'll jump into a practice match. As you can see, the visual aesthetic over here is retro pixel to a certain degree, and you'll see more of that in a moment. It has sort of like a Bastion Transistor feel, but really when you actually see the game in action, it's going to feel a lot like Hyper Light Drifter. So Spirit Orbs is where you dump Spirit Orbs to unlock cards, like card packs. Quests will tell you a daily quest over here, so I have to win a ladder match. Earlier it was to do 2 practice matches. Profile shows you your ranking, your faction levels. So I've been playing as Lionor right now because this is what you come out of the tutorial with. But I have unlocked everybody except for Songhai and Vinar. Rank history is where you can see ladder matches that you've done. And match history is where you can see the results of matches that you've done. I lost 1 practice with my custom deck and have won every preform deck. Armory is where you get access to the pay shop. The game will be a little less laggy than this when you actually play it. It's a little bit slowed down because of the recording. But you get gold for dailies, and my due to practice matches gave me 100 gold, which allows me to open a Death Star over here. And other Death Stars cost 2 for $3, 7 for $9. Or 7 for 10. 10 for 10 over here is a one-time purchase. 15 for 20 and 40 for 50. Under settings, we have basically, you know, on any modern PC, you can crank all this stuff up, even the HIDPI mode. Some stuff related to the game, account settings, and audio settings over here. Under collection is where you can go to create decks or take a look at what you have. Now this right here definitely rips from Hearthstone. I mean, this area feels a lot like Hearthstone's collection screens. So there is my 1 custom deck that I have created. And these are your factions across the top. So this is similar to, say, like a rogue or a mage or a hunter in Hearthstone. And it really doesn't have similarities to Magic over here because there is no defined factions in Magic. Yeah, you have like goblins and elves and everything like that, but basically you have to pick from a general, which is your faction, and then you pick faction cards and neutral cards. So I've unlocked everybody now except for the Vinar and the Songhai. And then you have these neutral cards over here, and I've got about 3 screens of neutral cards. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and play a practice match over here. And I'm going to fight the Songhai to unlock them because I haven't fought them before. And I'm going to be using the game's starter deck. See, locked and locked.
Lionor versus Songhai.
So this kind of Street Fighter-esque intro screen over here. Now, at this point, I can go ahead and mulligan some cards out. I'm going to mulligan this expensive Dragonborn Golem. And I get a cheaper one. Sound effects kind of sound like a blend between Rift and World of Warcraft. There's some dongs that sound like WoW dongs, kind of like just inventory management and equipping, and some sounds sound like Rift. So, He starts a little bit closer to a mana orb in the center. And I can move across the battlefield. I don't have any minions out, so I'm going to summon this guy right in front of me. And now these things here are called mana orbs. When you control them, you get an extra mana on your next turn. And what it reminds me of is a lot like the old Archon games from ECA, otherwise known as Electronic Arts, back in the old Commodore era. The Archon 1 took place on like a chessboard, and Archon 2 took place on a elemental rectangular battlefield where there was like a fire band and an earth. Wow, that's an aggressive start for this guy. Wow, that's a really aggressive launch over there. I've never seen anybody try to do that yet. So I'm just going to walk away from him. And I'm going to summon that guy on that mana point. You also have a passive that can activate after X number of rounds and costs Y amount of mana over here. So I now control 1. He controls none. So now we're both 1 and 1. He's going to kill that guy. And I'm going to wind up killing... I don't get a counterattack against this guy. Let's see. Backstab. When attacking from behind, deals extra damage. It can't be counterattacked. So I don't own the mana crystal for my turn. So I'm going to have to move on it. This guy has Provoke and Zeal, so I'm going to summon him right over here. And with this 1 mana spell, basically I can buff this guy up. So he's now a 5/5 instead of a 3/5, and a mana crystals. Now, the provoke means that that little ninja guy has to attack my armor guy over there. He can't attack me. But, unfortunately, that high-powered mob over there just basically wiped him out. So now the ninja is free to attack me, and I can't counterattack. So this round I have 5 mana. Give all friendly minions 1. Summon him there. I gotta attack so that I face that way. Or, wow, am I not gonna be able to just face that way? Huh, yeah, I guess you always face the opposite side of the field from you. So he's going to be able to get backstab damage on me again. I thought maybe it would actually turn around and make me face him. So this time the enemy general's definitely got a considerable lead on me here. And he's probably going to wipe... Yeah, he's going to wipe out that guy. I always feel like the enemy generals have so much that they can do during a turn compared to me. Jesus, look at the battlefield. It's all him. Alright, so I'm gonna get a provoke mob over here. I'm gonna do that spell. Am I gonna run? Yeah, I think I'll run him into the enemy general just because of the extreme damage there. So now I'm actually ahead of the enemy general a little bit. But he's got a ton of mobs out here. He's only got one card in his hand, though. So I've got deck power over him. What's his ability? His ability is teleport a friendly minion. So that enemy suicided into my taunt guy. That enemy suicided in. Now it looks like it's general on... Oh, he's going to go for that. And I'm going to get backstabbed for 3. Oh no, he's not attacking. Alright, so I have a direct damage spell over here. Deal 2 damage to a minion. I'm going to get rid of him. And now I've got 6 mana to work with over here. So I'm going to summon him over here. And I'm going to buff him up. And I'm going to deal 2 damage to the enemy general. So now, unless he gets rid of this golem, I have lethal next turn. Basically, this is kind of a checkmate situation. It forces his hand. He has to get rid of that golem, otherwise he loses. And he's going to be able to do it. So here comes that backstab damage that I can't counter. Alright, so I have 8 mana on this turn. And I now own 2 of the mana points, which is pretty cool. He's got none, I've got 2. I'll be taking some backstab damage, but he's only got 1 card in his hand. It's probably going to summon something down there to take control of that mana point. I think that's going to make that mob activate again. Yeah, it is. No, I don't want to do that. Do that over here. Okay, so that gets rid of an immediate threat to my general, and I'm going to use that on him, just to make sure he doesn't try to teleport him near me. And I'm going to leave him on the mana point. I'll be on the mana point. And we're going to try to corner the enemy general now. So I think this is pretty much game. I think that 10-10 is going to be able to wipe him out next turn, so we'll see what happens. He replaced a card in his deck, and again, only has 1 card. So that won't be able to attack this turn. Alright, so basically going to try to pin him in this corner here. So now I own all 3 mana points, so I'll leave him there for that. So this is the first time I've had a match go probably this deep and to the point where I've got real good control over the battlefield in terms of minions. So unfortunately that wipes out a really big threat over there. But this mob is going to get him next round. Because it looks like you can summon close to anywhere where you have minions on the board. It's not just by your general, it's also by you. Hi, buddy. Alright, so it looks like I still can't get him yet. And I'll summon him over here. Move him up to try to create a pinch. Now, this is going to leave a mana point for me, but... Oh, it has to be near my general. Okay, well, we'll bang him for 2 just to get him a little bit lower. See, this is a good spell if I have a high tank mob, but I don't at the moment. Let me see if I can... Yeah, I don't want to come off the point. So I'll just stay up here and hopefully continue to keep him pinned in the corner over here. Unless he places something between the Kraken and my 8/8, he's pretty much screwed. So he goes for my Kraken. Yep, that's game over for him at this point. And move that up over here. And there's the attack for the win. So now I'm at level about 6.5 over here. And I've now unlocked this general. So the last thing I'll do is go over the different general passives over here. And you can kind of get a feel for what you would like to play with if you were to, you know, play this game. My passive is give a minion nearby me plus 2 attack. Songhai, we know that. That's teleport a friendly minion for 2 spaces. The Vitruvian, summon a 2/2 Iron Dervish on a random space near your general. You don't get to pick. Ebizian, summon 2 Wraithlings nearby your general. So we have a buff a unit, teleport a unit, 2 summoners. Give your general +1 attack. Don't have them unlocked yet. And then you have your neutral cards. So that's Duelyst. And as you can see, it pretty much takes from pre-established card games like Magic the Gathering. Zeal is like haste. Provoke is taunt. You got things like that. And you got some extra little fun abilities here and there on the cards. And it's a fun game, free to play. Can't really tell if the cash shop is expensive yet. It would require just basically doing a bunch of dailies and everything to see how things go. So it's kind of fun. Don't know if it'll be mobile yet, but I can see the potential for this to also be a mobile game aside from just being a PC game. Seems a lot of fun. Don't know how much of a splash it'll make, but it's worth checking out. So check out a link to the game in the description below, and let me know if you start playing and what you think. Peace out, everybody.